Welcome back to a walk through the tarot. This is card 2, the High Priestess. We're following the Tarot Fool as he journeys through the cards. In the last video, the Fool met the Tarot Magician. He learned about the power of creative energy and was drawn to the life and vitality of the card. The High Priestess is very different. Cool and detached, she sits in front of a veil, strung between two pillars, hiding what lies behind. There's a glimpse of water, but nothing more. She is the power of the unconscious mind. She represents depth, everything hidden below the surface. Her domains are the moon and oceans, both with power of their own. There's a lot going on in this card. We're going to look at its background, explore the symbols, and see what messages she has for the Fool as he continues with his journey. In early tarots, she was called the Papess, or female pope. A statue in St. Peter's Church in Rome shows a woman wearing a bishop's hat and holding the keys of heaven, or St. Peter's keys, a symbol of papal authority. In the 14th century, a popular story about a female pope called Joan claimed she disguised herself as male and was elected to popedom, but her secret came to light when she gave birth during a papal procession. It's now thought to be fiction, but it shows how early tarot mirrored the culture and beliefs of the day. Some say the Visconti Sforza decks from the late 1400s might show Sister Manfreda, a nun who was burned to death by the church on a charge of heresy. Manfreda was related to the Viscontis, and at a time when the Catholic Church had great power, it seems unlikely the Duke of Milan would publicise his family connections to a heretic, but it might also have been a subtle acknowledgement of her life. The card remained the Papess until tarot was adopted by French occultists in the 18th and 19th centuries. Antoine Court de Gebelin claimed tarot originated in ancient Egypt, and he renamed the card the High Priestess after the Egyptian goddess Isis, the divine mother of Horus and protector of the people. She began to lose her Catholic regalia. Out went the bishop's crook and keys, and in came the moon and the temple. The High Priestess was becoming more pagan than Catholic, and the archetype can be found in many older civilizations. At Delphi in northern Greece, the High Priestess at the Temple of Apollo was known as the Pythia. She sat on a three-legged stool over a fissure in the bedrock, where friction between the fault lines produced gases, including ethylene. Breathing this in would help her make prophecies, and over the entrance to the temple were the words, "Know thyself," a core message from the High Priestess card, who represents the unconscious parts of ourselves we are often unaware of. In the 20th century, Arthur Waite linked her to the ancient cult of Astarte, a Canaanite fertility goddess, also connected to war and conflict. She was related to the Sumerian goddess Ishtar. Our High Priestess could now be dated back to the 3rd millennium BC. Let's take a closer look at the symbolism in the Waite-Coleman-Smith card. The primary colours are blue, long associated with Catholic Mary, but this High Priestess has left the church far behind. Her crown might represent a sun between two horns, or it could show a full moon with a waxing and a waning crescent on each side. The book on her knee is called Torah. This Hebrew word translates as to teach or guide, so she holds a book of knowledge. The cross on her robe has arms of equal length. This is a solar cross. It signifies the cardinal directions as well as the elements of earth, air, fire and water. The crescent moon at her feet suggests a lunar goddess, like Selene or Hecate, thought to be responsible for the moon's triple phases and monthly cycles. The moon controls the tides, and the element of water has long been associated with female experience. It represents the subconscious mind, home to emotions and the source of intuition. The High Priestess sits between black and white pillars. The letters B and J stand for Boaz and Yakin, the names of the pillars at the entrance to Solomon's temple, a king long associated with knowledge and wisdom. The pillars represent the polar opposites of darkness and light, positive and negative, the yin and yang of Eastern philosophy, and the principles of masculine and feminine. Together they symbolise balance. Behind the High Priestess, a veil is strung between both pillars. There's a glimpse of water. She's guarding the inner mysteries within the temple. The veil is covered with pomegranates, long associated with beauty, mystery and the feminine. The High Priestess is all about the merging of the conscious and unconscious self. So let's take a look at the messages she might have for the Fool. Her knowledge is all-encompassing, but her world is one of symbols and shadows. We've moved beyond words. She's what is felt rather than spoken, so there are no direct statements, only the whisper of intuition, that small, quiet voice inside. The High Priestess operates through instinct and meaningful synchronicity. She has the skills of prophecy and divination, but it's too soon to explain all this to the Fool. He needs to focus on this stage of his journey, to bring into conscious awareness all those feelings he's hidden or repressed and has chosen to ignore. The Fool needs to create space for silence and stillness. It will feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step on his journey. Rather than acting on impulse, he must learn to pause, analyse his response, and listen to his intuitive voice for guidance. And because the High Priestess is connected to the moon, which controls the tides, the Fool needs to learn about ebb and flow. Life is full of ups and downs, highs and lows. This is the way of things. The good times will pass, but so will darker, more anxious ones. Once the Fool realises life is full of these rhythmic cycles, he'll be better able to cope with them. We're taught to see opposites as differences, but duality is an illusion. They're equal parts of the same whole. There can't be one without the other. The High Priestess can signify a refusal to face yourself, to step aside from the external material world and explore the inner one. She might suggest emotional imbalance or the inability to listen. Women have long been portrayed as passive, but also irrational, devious or cunning, and the High Priestess can signify these darker sides. The magician represented the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. The High Priestess is the following line, which says, as without, so within. She's a bridge between the material world of the magician and the non-material world of the temple. The power of the magician was directed outwards to effect change in the conscious world, and the High Priestess turns the light of the moon inside to discover what can't be seen on the surface. The Fool needs to harness the powers of focus and manifestation that he learned from the magician, but to direct them inwards. Only then can he begin to explore what lies in his unconscious and subconscious layers. At first, the Fool might dismiss the High Priestess. She's all about stillness and silence, whereas he wants to move on, especially after encountering the creative energy of the magician. Or her cool, calm exterior might intrigue him. Something inside may respond, even though she hasn't yet spoken. Like the other cards, the High Priestess is there to show him what he needs to know, even if he doesn't yet feel ready, and she will always be there, waiting for him to return. The next card in A Walk Through the Tarot is number 3, the Empress. She is the energy of the magician made manifest through nature. An Earth Mother Goddess archetype, the Empress represents mystery and magic of a different kind. So join us as we take the next step on the journey.